What is up, Diablo loving demon hunters from season 22? Okay, guys, I'm gonna go right into it. I'm not gonna waste much time. Okay, so I actually just discovered probably one of the funnest builds I think I've ever played in Diablo for season 22. I'm gonna have to hide my webcam here so you can actually see my items. Okay, should be better. All right. All right. This is Season 22 is so fun. This is probably the sweetest build I think I've ever played in Diablo. In Diablo 3, actually, history I've been playing since Season 1. I actually played since beta, but I played beta on a different account. Anyways, said I'd get into it. Let's do it. So this is a Shadow Impale. I've not seen anybody using this build on the leaderboard, and I've not seen any of my friends who are high levels using this build either. I'm the only one on my friends list for season 22 with this build. I didn't um, use any guides or research. I don't know whose build this is, but I will credit myself for at least innovating in this way. Again, I haven't seen anyone on the leaderboard, so I think it's 100% unique, and it's only going to be unique to season 22. The reason being is because we have here Squirt's Necklace, and we can actually take advantage of the 4th cube slot. It's a Shadow Impale build, pretty standard stuff, with Nemesis bracers for speed running. High GRs, we're going to use pain enhancers. This is just the basic rundown of the build. I just call it Shadow Impale. It's still it's just season 22 Shadow Impale. So, anyways, the amazing thing about it is actually we can use Pylon. Flavor of Time, Pylon effects last twice as long. Normally, we would probably be using still Convention of Elements with this kind of build, and for pushing the leaderboards in Season 22, it synergizes so well with Squirt's Necklace. Basically, you run around the GRs and you look for pylons, you pop pylons, and it's a speed build, so you're going to get pylon spawning enemies. It's going to last twice as long. If you're lucky enough to come out with a shield pylon, and you find one, a shield pylon, I mean, okay, you're going to be mitigating all damage. You're not going to take any damage. So Squirt's Necklace literally says here, while not taking damage, damage is increased by up to 100%. So now you can use Traveler's Pledge and Squirt's Necklace at the same time, and it synergizes amazingly with Flavor of Time too. So it's a Shadow Impale build for Season 22. I made some simple adjustments to it. My gear's not even augmented. I completed a GR solo 89 in 3 minutes. This is a GR 90 3-minute build. You'll be hitting numbers in the trillions. I'll go over my cube real quick. Dawn, of course, always standard Shadow Impale, Quill Curus. Those are the first two, and we just went over Flavor of Time, Squirt's Necklace. That's what you put in the cube. Because you're, I just want to go over stats because all this gear should be similar for most Shadow Impale players. I'll give you some footage too. But because we have to run around, do a lot of searching for pylons, we're going to be taking up to 50% more damage, right? Throughout that time, because it says, like, we can get hit, right? Because only when we have a shield pylon will we be mitigating all damage. So we're taking 50% more increased damage, and when we do get hit. So that's the only downside. So there's a couple things that I did to counteract that. One, I put on, instead of ambush, because I'm not playing hardcore this season, I'm playing softcore. Like, I don't need ambush, or sorry, awareness. I took off, my bad. I'm talking about awareness. I took off awareness from my passives. I don't need awareness, and the reason being is because we're going to be up in front of everybody's face on high GRs with the pain enhancer. We want to keep enemies alive within us in a 20-yard radius to get the 3% frenzy attack speed bonus per enemy that's bleeding with our pain enhancer. So we want to keep guys alive in front of us, but we want to mitigate as much damage as possible when we're getting hit because of Squirt's Necklace increasing 50% damage. We're using numbing traps instead of awareness because at least anything we hit with slower chill or fan of knives at least has their damage reduction by 25% for 5 seconds. So everything in front of us, that damage that we do get hit by, it's gonna, that 50% increased damage, slice it in half. Boom. Okay, we get 25%. It's actually really good. Thrill of the Hunt and Call of the Week. So that way our hatred spenders will just blast people, okay? And we're gonna like basically be permanently proccing 20% and a slow extra damage for our over in penetration. If you're not already using it, you should be using it. Sometimes I use Blood Vengeance. We don't need Blood Vengeance here though for the Shadow Impale. Of course, Ambush, very standard for Shadow Impale. Then of course Dark Heart, because we have no other choice. Gloom, we also have no other choice. When we're pushing high GRs, we need that. Bladed Armor, we need that. Over penetration, you could swap it out for something different, but with the slows and chills that we're doing with Call of the Week, there's really also, again, no other option because you'll just be slowing more enemies with the Cold rune on Impale. Rattling Roll, Vault, so we stun enemies. That stun helps out a lot. Wolf Companion, extra damage. The stats on the build, okay, are very important, guys. So we're not using much damage. We're not using much attack speed because we have the pylons. This is a pylon build. Pylons will be helping us out insurmountably. I think is the word. Just to such a large degree, it's like, it's amazing. So I took off 15% Impale on the helmet. I took off crit for the helmet. We're doing Dex, Vite, resistance to all elements because we're improving its toughness as much as possible for the moments we do get hit, because we could still take up to 50% damage if we have not hit someone with bladed armor. Makes sense? And we do not have a pylon. So Dex, Vite, resist all elements, helmet. Dex, Vite, armor, pure toughness, chest. Dex, Vite, resistance all element, life per second on shoulders. Dex, crit, cooldown. We need 3 sources of cooldown to have a permanent 100% uptime on Vengeance. We need 3 sources of cooldown with Vengeance. So Dex, crit, cooldown. Okay? Of course, amulets, you want amulets to be good, the jewelry. So Dex, crit, amulet on Traveler's Pledge. Dex, crit, cooldown on Elusive Ring. Get it as close to 60% as you can for casting Shadow Power Vault damage reduction, because it's a Shadow Impale build. We should always be having the 60% damage reduction. Dex, Vite, armor, life percent. Armor will help us reduce damage to enemies at the same level as us. It's easier to get also on your Cane of Shadows rolls with armor than resistance to all elements. So don't worry about that extra 100 to all, because just make sure you have the secondary at least with something. Yeah, I personally prefer maxing out move speed too on Compass Rose, so you'll see me always keep that. I go Dex, Fight, crit, move speed, so we have source of cooldown again on gloves, elusive for the ring, and then on the dagger. The dagger is really cool. Man, this is probably going to be my favorite Carlisle's point, I think, in general. And I'm going to start trying to roll this on seasonal as well. But the damage here is, yeah, it's like whatever. We have Impale as much legendary fix as get it as high as you can. Dex, cooldown, all resource cost. Okay, 10% Dex. find it an ancient and augment it, I'm pretty sure that's going to be quite the amazing Carlisle point for all Shadow Impale builds and variations. Resource cost helps you keep your uptime of Aquila's Curse, and that 10% just gives you that extra little bit of oomph. You can only get an extra 2% on your dagger, and that'll carry your vengeance for sure. 100% uptime. We go Dex Fight Armor Pants. Dex Fight resists all elements, life per second on boots. Dex Fight resistance to all elements, life per second on Nemesis Bracers. You could find life per hit. I would personally prefer life per hit if I could find it. Beggars can't be choosers though. Those are very good. It'll help with your toughness. So life per hit, life or life per second. And then also on the Holy Point shot, get it as high as you can to that extra 100% legendary affix. Everything else doesn't really matter. Dex Fight matters. Ideally, you would want cold damage on the Holy Point shot, attack speed, and crit chance on your Holy Point shot. Alright, that's it. Sorry that took so long. I tried doing it as fast as I could. I'm going to just go into a GR90 now. GR89. I'll try to give you guys some raw footage. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this. Yep. Season 22 Shadow Impale build. You will be hitting numbers in the trillions. Again, I don't have any augments either on this build. It is quite monstrous. I'm going to just do some scouting here. You'll see me do that. For pylons. Sometimes you get unlucky. Looks like we got unlucky. So. Now I know there's a lot of demon hunters out there who play this game a lot more than I do, though. I just want to say this much. If you guys put your Season 22 effort into this build, you would... I think you'd be way more efficient, personally. At least with your farming. Compared to the... what's the new one? The Strafe build? And I did try the Strafe build as well. The Strafe build is really strong and it's really fun, but you kind of miss out on the Nemesis because you need that extra damage with the Wraps of Clarity. So you kind of have to take the L there on the Nemesis and reduce your speed, especially on higher GRs. This one, you can actually get away with it just fine, and you can incorporate it just fine too. I'm sure there's a variation of Season 22 Strafe with Nemesis and stuff like that. I would love to see something like that if it's possible. I haven't played around with it too much. Actually, I can tell you another build quickly about my Strafe build. I'll come out with another one soon. Very good for lower GRs. If you just want to speed riffs. For Season 22, so fast. Now, of course, Shadow Impale is also one of the fastest builds you can find as well. Literally because of the... Vault costs no resource, but Strafe is more consistent. It's not as clunky. You're not as forced. Like for me, I'm forced to, you know, vault everywhere I want to go, right? Yeah. Again, there are speed versions of Shadow Impale for season 22, but when I say speed versions, of Shadow Impale, I'm talking about like the non-seasonal version. So for those ones, it's a little different. Different build. I really love what the developers did with the season 22 buff. It's just honestly fantastic. It's awesome. This is literally one of my favorite season 22 themes. The shadow clones are so cool, and then see another record actually. So sub 5 minutes. I'm getting personal bests though because I haven't, like, I just started hitting GR90s. You can see my gems here. 61 on the Gogok, 40 on the Pain Enhancer, and 50 on the Trapped. So I'm gonna get my Pain Enhancer up more. But you will get stronger. I'm only 600 Paragon, and you will progressively gain a lot of strength, especially while you're outside of pylons. Well, you don't have any pylons active. So I hope the raw footage is okay, and maybe you guys want to enjoy it. If not, that's kind of the end of the video. But you know, I want to see if I can do it a little bit better. Just show you that it's consistent too. This build is very consistent. You'll start getting faster. When you get faster, you go up a GR, right? And like it feels like just such a raw, powerful build. You know, I only have like maybe 1 or 2 ancients, and it maintains the speed time. So when every time, you know, you start getting too quick, okay, and then you go up a GR. Normally, when you're pushing like that, you know, you would lose a bit of time, but with this season 22 thing, you're gaining just as much time every time you go up higher. So when you get in strength, it's like you're only getting faster. You're just getting faster, faster, faster. Now, RNG also comes into the maps as well, so I'm not sure if this will be as fast as the other one, but yeah, generally speaking though, yeah, it's like 5 minute mark at the slowest. Yeah, when you get to that next GR, oops. See, we don't have any pylons, so you kind of have to be careful, like a little more cautious, especially if you're a hardcore character. You might not want to be pushing as fast on GRs. That would be my recommendation. And then you would probably want awareness then instead of the bladed armor 25%. For sure. For sure. That's the only change I would make for hardcore build, actually. If you're still following me along at this point for seasonal 22 hardcore. Shadow Impale version. The 4th passes, so the passes would be Call of the Week, Thrill of the Hunt, Ambush, and Awareness. Those are the 4 passives that I would personally use if I was playing hardcore. I don't play hardcore though, so. Clearly. I'm a little too casual for that. So, the bigger the enemy, the harder they fall, right? But the thing about the trillions, though, is like if you are hitting numbers in the trillions. Yeah, like right there, it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but the orange crits, they disappear so quickly. Like we're hitting right there. That was 1,000,000,000,000, so that's 1,000,000,000,000, boom, on that shield turret, right? Shock turret. Um, so yeah, you are hitting 1,000 Bs. I've hit like I think even as high as 4,000,000,000,000. So that's 4 trillion. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this map was kind of slow. I should really be just skipping and to scout. Anyways, it's kind of hard to multitask conversations and things, but yeah, season 22, guys. If you guys want, like literally one of my all-time favorite builds I've ever came across in Diablo history since like 2012. The last 8 years, it's literally it's right now. It's right now for the Demon Hunter. And it's so many classes too. I'm sure long-term Diablo fans are really enjoying this season, not just Demon Hunters. I play other classes, but I main Demon Hunter because it's the class that I guess I've played in the beta. Ooh, 2,000 billion. 1,800 billion. 4,300 billion. It's because the power pylon, right? Um, but even without it, we're still hitting like 1,000 billion. So it just shows you some of the numbers that you'll hit. With the pylon, you'll basically be getting 4 times effective damage, something like that. These are all consistent 1,000 billion trillion hits on that boss right there. What was I saying? So how fast was that? Oh, that was pretty slow. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. I don't want to go past the time. I might. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll keep this both um, riffs in the raw footage. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're following along, that's awesome. And I might consider. I might consider playing another class just to see what kind of innovation I could do. My second most played class besides Demon Hunter, I'm pretty sure would be um, probably Monk or Necromancer. Necromancer is very good this season as well. There's some cool stuff. If you guys like playing the meta runs with the rat runs, you'll be speed running those next. But this is just solo players, Demon Hunters. Thanks for watching, guys. Check it out. Love you all. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Stay smiling. Namaste. Peace.